They're more to give you inspiration, or you can choose the exact color.
Yeah.
But the point of Logic is you can create your own paint. It's completely. You can go downstairs with Cameron and mix it like on the day. Yeah, or you can grab that broomstick and go, I like that red. No, really, and we have a tool that can sample it.
Okay.
And we can say, you know what, there you go, Rosso Moppo.
Yeah.
Right, and that's your paint. That's basically what. This is like really makeshift space, but we've obviously allocated this space to where the wash bay will be. But until you've worked your magic, because we've had to get customers' cars through, the best we've got is this space right now, but it needs proper drainage, proper lighting, and ideally one of those 360 rigs.
I think from our point of view, it's a reasonably simple fix.
Yeah.
You've got the space, you've got all the electrics and plumbing in here, we can put a central drain in here, we'll raise the floor up so it's got a fall on it, we'll probably use granite screed for that, and then put a central drain in, we might rubber mat it with everything pointing to the bay in the middle. We're going to we're going to build these walls out, and these back walls out. We're going to put some lights all around the outside so you can see underneath the building. And if possible, James, we can look at a lift. So we can put a car lift that fits floor flush. So when you drive on, it's just coming straight out.
I'd like to get a quote on that.
Yep.
This is a pretty substantial concrete floor.
Well,
it's quite a big job, isn't it?
We can do the everything.
Yeah.
We can do the dream wash bay, and then we can
the dream.
We can row back and go. Okay,
let's back from there.
And then we can say, I don't want to spend that. I don't want to spend that, but I do want all this. But I think on this side, for all these sort of like storage for all this equipment here, if we've got a wall here, that's the same as the other walls that are push doors, and all your stuff is in here, all off the floor, all stored up, everything's tucked away. And we get those really good arms that come across the centre, like swinging arm.
That'd be amazing.
That you are not tripping over bits of pipe.
And you're not dragging the pipe and getting it caught under tyres or risking.
Fine.
Like, we also want to reduce as much contact with the car as we can. And like, you know, when you're dragging the line around the back of the car, we just want it to like freely swing around the circumference of the car.
So there's no danger of it touching the car.
Exactly.
There will be a point of parking.
Yep.
That's be detailed, so when you get out of the car, I'm in the right place, then the arm will work. Get it off that line and it could touch.
Okay.
This area here, where we come in, because we don't want to dig this whole floor up, is going to be slightly raised to about there.
Yep.
We'll make it a smooth transition from there to there, and you'll have a really perfect washdown bay.
If we could get the grade as gradual and as low as we can, because we need to accommodate for the lowest of low cars, just in case.
What's the lowest clearance we're talking about?
Depends if someone wants to send us a race car.
Okay.
If someone wants to send us a race car, we might actually genuinely have to think about that, because we get asked to paint all sorts of stuff.
Okay.
So it could be anything, but I mean,
we'll have the gradient too. You're literally talking that much off the floor.
That'll be fine, I'm sure.
Okay.
I think
But it's more when it goes over, isn't it? It's when it goes over.
It's when it goes over and it begins to straddle the transition back down again.
Yeah.
So we'll probably send you some data on some ride heights of some of the cars.
Okay.
Which we know we've had in and will have in.
So once you've washed the car, it's out here.
Yeah.
You need to come it out, and then of course it's either going to go up there or go into the detailing bay and the spray booth.
Well, this is one of the problems we've got, and you can see it.
Yeah.
And it doesn't. It's not always necessarily the wash bay. Today, for example, it's been pouring down. You drive a car in, and it drags in filth and water.
A drip bay here, we'd literally put some groove rubber mats to allow the tyres to get rid of its water. Allow it to sit there literally 4 or 5 minutes, and then the worst of the water will be gone.
Yeah.
And then you can drive it off. There's still going to be a watermark, but nothing like you've got now. This is just...
So we can drip dry in there once it's been washed and then transition onto a mat here.
And of course, this is then a washable space. You can just bring the power washer over, power wash it out the door.
Okay.
Have you thought about sort of the entrance here, about putting some rising bollards in for security?
We have to have those in. So we need to have rising bollards in for insurance.
Okay.
So they'll be going in.
Is that a Chubb requirement? Or not a Chubb requirement?
Yeah. Well, we have not only our own cars, but clients' cars here, all at the same time.
But it's unusual for us to see a car garage of this sort without rising bollards in. So we'll quote for those as well.
Sure.
And they just come up with the doors or electronic or whatever you want.
Yeah, and then if we could have maybe I don't know if we need it, if it's
keypad
overkill, but maybe one of those swinging, sort of it's not a gate, but it's a sort of metal barrier that's hinged off the wall
Yeah.
that you can also lock there.
That's a real
as
easy
well.
fix.
Yeah,
But
so we can stick that in.
there's nothing more daunting. You're trying
Yes.
to take something out of a building. There's rising bollards
Sure.
and there's a great metal gate.
Yeah, exactly.
Instead of just cutting a hole in that, which is easy.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, sure.
So it's just daunting to see physical security. Everybody knows you've got digital security and the alarm's going to go off.
Yeah,
But
actual
physical security,
stuff is good.
That's painful.
Yeah, okay. Quick one on the walls. Obviously, I just hate the aesthetic of the breeze block and these cross braces. Can we, effectively, I want to set dress this so it looks.
So here
it
we
looks
pull
nice.
this out and we put like a concrete looking aqua panel.
Yeah.
So it's super clean, and you'd have to choose whether you wanted a matte finish for your filming or a glosso finish or a semi-matte.
Yeah.
But the actual finish here is no problem at all. That's a real easy do. We have to just cap the top so we're not getting water behind, because water does go everywhere.
Yeah.
So we're not having water ingress all around the back of the panels.
Okay.
But that's fairly straightforward.
Okay.
we'll
So this part is, we're in desperate need of this now because we're starting to get cars through quite a lot, and it's just not right. Like, as much as there's some sort of etched channeling in here right now,
Someone's had a
standing
go at
water.
it. Someone's had a go at it, which is fine. But we need to do things only the one way
Right.
properly.
Right. Yeah. That's it.
And someone's had a go at it,
Okay.
and we'll just put it through here. We've got to put a 3-stage interceptor outside
Yep.
to pick up fuels, contaminants
Yes.
before it goes into the water course, before it goes into the treatment plant.
Yeah.
So that's a cleanable bit of kit, but that goes outside the building, and we'll deal with that.
Right.
But that you have to have.
All right. Okie doke. So, handover bay. So handover space right now is tire storage space.
Well, isn't that just lovely?
Isn't that just great?
Yeah.
Yeah. So this eventually will be walled off from here. So it'll come off of this, and this will be a complete wall, because the other side of here we're going to install the rest of the build bays.
Okay.
So this will just be sealed off, making this its
So
own
no
space.
access from here to here, sealed off.
Yeah, sealed
Totally
off. And then what's on the plans from the architects right now is a sort of mezzanine type structure which will connect with that wall, and then upstairs there will be a sort of atelier, a client experience room.
Okay.
And the dream scenario is to have doors there that you can walk out onto a balcony
Yeah.
for like events and entertainment,
Just a
and then you
glazed
can
balcony.
overlook
Yeah,
here
with a
from
handrail.
that
Yeah.
up here. But that will also then double as the roof for this space, which will be client handover bay.
So this is going to be quite a dark space.
Well, not until you put
Obviously.
loads of lights into it.
Yeah, but if
Yeah,
you get the lights
yeah.
around the outside,
Yeah,
you
sure.
spec that up
Uh-huh.
and above lights, and you're going to put your turntable in here.
Yeah, turntable needs to go in.
So
And
instead
it's a
of
pretty good space for a handover, but it also needs to double up as a studio as well, because we want to be filming cars. Like, I want to bring the Modern Classic series back. The turntable in Bunker 1 was brilliant for that. It was a really good space for walk and talks. So while it will be a client handover space, we also want it to double up as a sort of studio too. So sound insulation is important.
So on the underside of the ceiling, we put baffles in.
Uh-huh.
We put some sound insulation on that wall there. That will
Okay.
just reduce all the noise. If we raise this floor up to put a turntable in, we
Yeah.
haven't got to dig this floor up.
Sure.
Gets rid of big expense.
Yes. of
But it would
course.
also be a floor covering that would look really nice for a handover filming type studio. And we've got to work
Okay.
on the lighting. You know, that's
Yeah.
important for you guys.
From
And we'll work on those details.
yeah, the lighting, we've learned a lot on lighting from Bunker 1.
Okay.
So we'll speak about that when it gets to that stage. Also, I'm not sure from a fire regs point of view, but with this being a entertaining space, I'm wondering if there's going to have to be an exit opportunity off the side here down there,
So-
or a spiral staircase.
So I wouldn't put it out
in the
there because
corner.
that's just dying to get crashed into.
Okay.
I'd have a,
Fair enough.
I'd have a
Right.
spiral staircase in the corner,
Okay.
and then you've covered that.
Right.
And then even if you've got the corner here with your spiral staircase,
Yeah.
and you want to put something the same depth as a spiral staircase, which is storage of stuff and stuff and stuff,
Uh-huh.
you can use that space.
Yeah, sure.
Because you've still got, acres of room here. But we'd have to configure, let's say you're putting some doors there, so the doors would come out into the center of the turntable.
So again, and this is all like dreamland spec stuff, so whether it works out cost effectively, that's your job. But
Thank you.
But through there is the Logic Lounge,
Yeah.
and it was the dream to have either glass here or some sort of sliding doors as potentially part of a reveal of someone's finished handover. So they could be in the lounge having the coffee, and the doors open, and it reveals this space with a car on a turntable.
So if the doors,
lights.
if they're centrally glazed doors,
Yeah.
maybe they're not glazed, but they are glazed, so they have that switch which turns the opaque glass off. And then you look through, and your turntable's in the middle of that space. Then I think that would look really special. Really
It
special.
would be cool. I was at when we sent the Senna out to Dubai, cars that received the car, which is quite cool actually from a sort of logistics company. They don't need to go to this effort, but they had a handover bay, and they were just a sort of warehouse really.
Okay.
But they have a handover bay there, and when you go there, they give you the switch, and it's the sort of I don't know what it's called, but where the sort of electrocharged film on the glass. You press the button, and it just goes opaque or not.
It just warms it up.
It just warms it up. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, simple as that.
So yeah, those guys integrated it on quite a small piece of glass. So I think it would be a larger bit of glass there, but cost prohibitive maybe. Not from the
it's the cost of the glass.
functionality.
Yeah.
It's the glass.
Yeah.
So let's
But
get.
things
a
have
cost and see how
improved
it
in
goes.
that, because as technology improves in neon, those things get cheaper and cheaper. But we'll have a look at it.
Sure. Yeah. It
What would
used
also
to
be
be
a
that
good
that
source-
was in the glass, and that was like
Yeah.
proper money. But now it's just a film that you
Yeah.
can just stick it on and stick an electric charge through it. So.
With, obviously, if this is a Logic bay, isn't it nice to sort of bring a customer's car in here, and it's
Absolutely.
on the turntable with a proper light on it?
Awesome.
And then the Logic team can discuss the
100%.
finishes with it in a really nice environment,
Yeah, 100%.
rather than outside or inside. It's just a
We
good
really
place
want it to be like, yeah, ultimately what someone's done. If they got to that stage, they brought us their pride and joy.
Yeah.
It's quite a big process to do this job, and when it's all handed over, it feels and looks like an entirely new car. Like, it's amazing what a different paint on the same car will do. It's like a second life.
Yes.
So we want, like, it's almost a second handover. So it's champagne,
It's
it's,
like having a
photos
new
with the
car.
cars, exactly, right? So we don't want to drop below the standard of the car that's being worked on. So if someone's brought an 812 Superfast to us, of which we've done like over 10 now, we want the continuation of that Ferrari experience when you have the handover experience.
So you've got to have the right environment for it.
Oh, absolutely.
But we'll draw
Yeah.
something up.
Yeah.
We'll design it all.
Cool.
You see about the costs.
Yeah.
How you like it, how you don't like it.
That's a different
And
story.
Then,
but yeah.
then we'll go from there. But
okay.
that's what we're gonna design.
All right. Cool. Well, we've still got some bits from Bunker 1
Yes, I saw that. Yes.
to bring the costs down.
thought I've
You actually
seen
wouldn't believe how much a turntable, like, this was money. Like, I couldn't believe it. We had to bite the bullet because ultimately when we got into Bunker 1,
Yeah.
it was too small a space to turn a car around.
Yeah.
So I think the audience thought, oh, that's really cool functionality for filming with. The reality of it was we couldn't turn a car around in there, so we had to have it.
Well, this is an expensive one because
Yeah.
it's so low profile.
Yeah, it
Because
sinks
again-
really low.
Yeah,
It's
because you
brilliant.
don't want a deep setting. Otherwise, you're digging the floor up, you're raising the
Yeah.
floor up to it. And this sat in within the floor we built for you at
Yeah.
Bunker 1.
Yeah, exactly. Brilliant.
Nice to see it again.
We'll get around to chatting about this.
Yeah.
This is going to be a long-term project, this whole building. So the biggest project that I've worked on prior to this was 14,000 square feet. This is 30,000 square feet.
Okay.
So it's for me at least, it's quite a leap, right? So we're going to do them in sections to keep it real.
Yeah. If we have what's
Yeah.
really important right now is to have the master plan
Yes,
and go
totally.
to the
And then
very
we'll do
end
it-
and then come backwards and backwards and
Yeah,
backwards.
yeah.
So whatever you're doing is going to work within the
At
master
some
plan.
point, we need to make this as cool as everywhere else because the mezzanine entertainment space is going to overlook that as well as that room.
Yeah.
So when we obviously want this to look nice, but it's not a priority. I'm just happy to have somewhere to store all my
Fine.
cars. But at some point, we'll get a chat on making this look less warehousey.
Okay.
So, but it's not important
It's
right
more
now.
the infrastructure for now. So it's future.
For me, it's making Logic operational and on brand. That's its main thing right now. Right. This room is such a hole, but it is what it is. It is what it is. So, we've still got supplies and packaging and things.
Okay, we've
which
just
are
moved in.
parts for. Well, we have just moved in, but forget all of this. The fact is, this will eventually become the Logic Lounge. So anyone coming as a customer when we're having cars and coffee events, whatever it is, this is going to be quite an open lounge for people to enjoy and immerse themselves in it. So we need to make this a really enjoyable on-brand space.
So you're looking for like a timber finish, like a Swiss style?
Yeah, I'd like a Scandinavian sort of feel. I quite like some open pore wood, a nice lounge area, coffee, reception, probably some samples of different paints and things that we offer here, albeit the main atelier will probably be upstairs.
Sure.
But
for
back
now,
to the staging thing, we'll probably do that here first.
But if you can get the colour scheme palettes in here, then they can always go upstairs at a different day. Okay.
Yeah, of course. But
and then we're going to want a little bar and a tea coffee area.
Exactly that. Yeah.
Okay,
somewhere to hang out. If someone wants to do some, like, if a client wants to pop in any time, do some work, nice desk area, nice place to hang out and chill, then...
Well, we'll future-proof it, so we design the desk layout. We've got the cables in the floors. They're not cables everywhere. And this space, I think, will be absolutely magic.
It'd be cool.
We're going to get rid of this.
I saw you staring at that. If there's one thing I'd like the quote on, it's taking out the call center ceiling, because it's the least on-brand experience having this roof here.
Okay.
The reason I say that is I pulled the carpet up upstairs and we've got concrete floors. So I'm assuming we've got concrete ceilings.
Yeah, this is hollow core plank flooring. So above this, not very far above this, will be concrete underneath, which will look fabulous on its own. All the cables and the wiring will put in containment.
Be a game changer.
And it will just look like a New York type studio.
Words out of my mouth. That's what I want to do. I want it to make it not feel like the call center that it feels like right now. It wasn't a call center. It just feels like
But that's quite easy. You do some cladding, some timber work, a different floor. There's a few, there's a cost here, but this would look lovely in no time at all.
Okay. I mean, if we can put the Yaris seat on a spinner, I'm quite happy to have that as a desk chair.
I don't see why not.
That'd be cool. What's that from? Not sure what that's from, actually.
Don't know.
Yeah. Crikey.
If it's out of an excavator, I'm happy.
We get packages and things sent to us. What is this from? Champagne glasses.
Well, we probably know what to do with it. But...
Yeah. Oh, it's from Pennzoil.
Okay.
Okay. Well, we'll crack those open once this is all finished. This is to celebrate the Canadian Grand Prix. Who knew?
Great.
Look at that. Funny. 2023 Canadian Grand Prix. That's been and gone.
Been and gone, yeah.
And the idea is to have some champagne and eat some pancakes. Anyway, we still got the big TV from Bunker 1. Whether we put that in here or we do it in production bunker office upstairs. So what's kind of unique about the building is we've put other companies in here as well. So Logic is 3/4 of it. We've got the JW garage and cars, like bunker garage in there. Next door to this, that mirrors this, is the recruitment bunker. So that's an office full of team, in there. Yeah. And then reflecting that same floor space upstairs is the production bunker office as well.
Okay.
So in here, there's quite a lot of employees, and we just really want to make it that anyone who's working here, I really want them to be like inspired that they want to be here. Well, just like,
Well, I think you want to come into a room and you want to lift your imagination. You want to see things and get inspiration from different wall colours and different paint colours and all sorts of things, leather colours, different shades.
Yeah, that'd be excellent. So
when you're talking to Logic,
quite a lot of work to do, but this is our almost blank canvas, sort of.
It is a blank canvas.
It is a blank canvas, but it's a very messy one.
It is.
So.
But the nice thing about it is there's nothing worth keeping.
Well, exactly, which is great. So we can sort of rip half of it out. So it's literally split. I mean, I don't know why this was obviously 2 units at one point.
Sure.
But we've now split them based on companies. So everything left is Logic.
Nice.
And everything right is
officey
bunker stuff. Okay. So recruitment bunker in there, production bunker up there. Okay. And both of them need some work, but the biggest amount of work is up here, because production bunker office needs to, basically we're a creative agency that's moved into a new office, and that is a blank canvas.
And they need to feel creative in a
100%,
space.
Yeah, it needs to be an awesome place to be.
Well, the nice thing about it is loads of natural light.
Yeah.
And we'll make the most of that in any designs.
Yeah. So, I mean, in recruitment, I think there's 10 just in that room there.
Okay.
So I actually don't know how long we're going to be here for because it's growing quite,
You're going to
quite
find me out.
fast.
You're going to go, excuse me. Yeah.
So you can see it's a weird setup because it was clearly two
Yes.
buildings at one time.
That's fine.
But again, right now it's all just storage. But
But if this is your creative space, we need to make it feel.
make it awesome.
Yeah.
We need to make it awesome. So
Big TV on the wall.
yeah,
When you're editing stuff, chat about it.
lounge area, preview screen. We need a sort of private office as well for people to have phone calls and meetings, etc. So I don't know. I'm naturally drawn to that corner.
That's fine because you can
But
have it here,
let's
but you
see.
can also have this glazed side here,
Yeah.
or a big so there's natural light coming to it as well.
Yeah, sure.
Instead of just
Yeah,
putting
yeah.
something in a box. But that 100% that can be a standalone office.
Okay, and then up here we have the other part, which will be the logic part. And so this, you can imagine, was that wall downstairs,
Yeah.
where ideally at some point there's going to be
A door.
some sort of doors, double maybe,
The door's got to be in the middle.
door in the middle, and then
So that's-
walk out onto the platform that
Yeah.
overlooks the build base. That's the plan.
And is this what's the logic going to do with this space?
So this, once you're committed as a customer, this will be the spec room, the atelier.
Okay.
So you can come up here, you can look at all sorts of paints and pictures and things. All right, Harry. You can look at all sorts of different paint samples. We also
So you want a
have
wall of colour.
a whole wall of colour.
Okay.
So there'll be hundreds of different sprayed samples.
Yeah.
They're more to give you inspiration, or you can choose the exact color.
Yeah.
But the point of Logic is you can create your own paint. It's completely, you can go downstairs with Cameron and mix it like on the day, and you can literally mix it and go home with 12
So it's
different paints.
it's your paint.
It's your paint. It's your
your
paint.
colour.
Yeah. Or you can go, I like that Porsche paint, and we'll do exactly that Porsche paint for you. So
So in his
kinda
samples,
depends.
like metallic samples and matte
Yeah.
samples and
Yeah.
so on, so you can go, I want a bit of that and a bit of that, and I want.
100%.
I've got these two colours here. I want something in the middle.
Yeah, or you can grab that broomstick and go, I like that red. No, really, and,
Yeah.
and we have a tool that could
Yeah.
sample it,
Okay.
and we can say, you know what, there you go, Rosso Moppo.
Yeah. Ross,
Right, and that's your paint. So,
Yeah.
so
Be the
you
fastest-
can do
fastest mop in the
exactly.
town.
You can do whatever you want.
Yeah.
But because we are supplied by the same paint suppliers that provide paint to Porsche and BMW and
Everybody.
McLaren, etc., we're able to do exact matches of branded paints, like paints which are famous on cars. We can even do the full Porsche PTS range. Or someone can go, I'm looking for a certain hue of green. Or it needs to be a little
Okay.
bit lighter. Oh no, a little bit darker. And you go downstairs, you can mix it yourself, put the lab coat on, go downstairs with Cameron, and I've done this lots of times.
Okay.
And you can mix paints. Or you can come in and you can go, I always really liked that Lamborghini purple. I like that, but just a little bit lighter or a little bit darker.
So
And you
if there's
totally
a-
tailor it.
If there was a TV in here, maybe the office replicates that in the corner. Will there be like a Cameron story? So you're seeing how the paints are mixed. You're seeing where it's
100%.
pre-from.
Yeah.
Okay,
You can
that's
see how it's
nice.
mixed and how it's made. It's a real science. Like the actual journey behind it's really cool. If a client makes their own paint, it becomes exclusively theirs.
Okay.
So if someone says, I want that paint, we have to phone the client and go, is it okay? You know, so you can really make it your
Well, it's a
own
great
journey.
touch, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a nice touch.
Yeah,
It's all about taking you, because imagine getting a car and being able to basically respec it again. Now, if we want to, we have a collaboration with Penzo, and we can do an entirely new interior if you want to. So if you really want, we can completely redo your entire car. I mean, I did it with the GT3.
Yes, that's
Totally
right. Yeah,
new
yeah.
interior.
So would
new
you have
paint.
some samples of leathers here?
Yeah,
and
so we
stitching?
can have Alcantaras and stitching and
Okay.
leathers. And one of the amazing things that Logic does is carbon fiber tinting.
Okay.
So you can have blue carbon if you want, purple carbon, like anything. It's like it's
Okay.
wild.
So once you're up here, you really are. business.
You're up here for hours.
So this wants to be a really nice,
Yeah.
comfortable
This
space,
is yeah.
inspirational.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Okay.
Or just to reclaim office space, we could have that experience in the lounge downstairs, and then it saves us having to do two amounts of work up and downstairs.
I see the downstairs space has been as amazing as this anyhow.
Yeah. So I think we approach it with downstairs first, And then if it needs to be brought upstairs, then fine. But
Okay.
let's see. But right now we're a blank canvas. And it's funny, like previous projects that I've done like this, I've never shown the real raw reality of the fact that, because we show it once, like all of the stuff up until this stage, which we're showing now, we don't really show because it's a little bit, you've got to use your imagination, and you no disrespect, it's a bit dull. But when you start building, then the progress starts and there's something to actually show. But for the uncut channel, we're showing like everything, which is why the room you've just seen downstairs looks like a bull's just ripped through it. But that's the fact of having tradesmen and people dropping samples and things in and out, and us waiting to start.
We could be on site for a year, 2 years.
Yeah.
It's only the last day it's worth filming.
Yeah, there you go.
The rest of it is like, well, why are we filming this? Or is it, there's this going on? Well, it's a waste of time. We have to film at the end. And then usually clients don't allow us to film anyhow because it's their space.
Yeah. Anyway, but I started this second channel for moments like this.
Okay.
Where like normally when we're filming on the main channel, it's all very, right, we've got this structured filming target and we're talking about this car or this event.
Okay.
And this is everything once the cameras go off. Like normally we wouldn't be filming this. This is just, what day is it?
Yeah.
Monday. It's just Monday. But there's everything else that goes on in the background that ultimately ends up getting filmed, and we've started sharing it all, and it's been a fun journey. So
if we go here, I'd like to film, if you're doing that journey, what I'd love
we'll roll on it all.
Is to say, right, these are the plans.
Yeah.
This is day one. This is what it looked like.
Sure.
This is a bit of a journey. The journey's quite boring. And then this is the end, you know.
Yeah, why not?
So make the journey the short bit of the video, but the start, the beginning and the end are
that'd be
great.
Yeah.
No, I'd love that.
Yeah, and then we're also really fortunate to have a fairly substantial car park. So I think if we forget the fact how the actual spaces themselves are laid out, I think you could get 70 to 100 cars in here on a cars and coffee afternoon.
Let's get some stackers in, James. Let's stack the cars.
You can stack the cars. We might end up getting those downstairs. Let's see how that goes.
Yeah.
But we really want to gear this place up to be a really cool hub. We want to host events. We want to get people in. We want to do live podcasts from here as well, and just get these guys involved. Guys down the lens. That'd be awesome. Yeah. Super cool.
But it's only so these are the conversations that never get talked about. But these are the conversations that make the design, because I now understanding what you need and what you're after.
Exactly. Yeah. So excited to be in, but not underestimating the amount of work involved.
Thank you.
No, not at all, mate. You did an amazing job with Bunker One, and that was, so Hugh and Equus. Anyone who's just joining this channel, we had like a proof of concept space, didn't we?
Sure.
Which I think, and to be fair to the audience, I know why they thought that, but I think a lot of people thought it was a garage. It was actually a studio.
Sure.
It was like designed to film one car at a time.
Yeah.
We had that turntable, and that's what it was for. But it was brilliant as a space, and we proved the concept that having our own space was good. And then things escalated a bit. Now we have a larger space, and we're able to. The game changer for me is being able to keep all the cars, all in one space, all under one roof, all at the same time. We've never been able to do that.
But with the collaboration with Logic, you've got your detailing bay, you've got your wash bay, you've got your handover bay, your cars, that going on, this going on, and the really editing room and the rest of it.
Super helpful to have it all under one space is just a dream.
Big moves.
So big move. So we're going to take it along with this. It's funny, every video as we're filming this, I think the previous video to this will be something to do with being with Rolls-Royce in Napa Valley or something, which is mega. And now we're like into Coventry, into a building site, and that's just the way it is, So, but that's what this channel is about. It's just completely transparent. This is what we're doing on days and off days, even though this isn't
from the Rolls-Royce space to
camera on day or off day. So and so it's been a really fun journey sharing everything, and the feedback so far has been cool. I'll be interested to see the feedback on this side of things, because this stuff, as you can probably tell, is why we really don't film everything, because it's just real stuff, right? So anyway, long story short, we need to, I think, prioritize the spaces and then prioritize the costs per space.
Yeah.
And no doubt there'll be areas where I've got this dream vision and I'm going to be like, that's not going to work. Let's dial that expectation down.
Yeah.
But if we can achieve the exposed concrete ceiling downstairs, that would be very cool.
That we'll have a good look at, and that we will deliver.
Okay. The wash bay will get that over the line. and then we'll get a pricing on the. Will it be a mez for the structure around the handover bay?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll try and get a quote on that. And then.
But with your experience,
Officers
our
later.
experience, getting the lighting right in that bay
Super
is
important.
super. With the wash bay, it's all about functionality,
Yeah.
and lighting.
The lighting in bunker 1, weirdly, that massive big circular light disc that we had above it,
Which looked great.
which looked amazing. Off camera, it looked amazing. As soon as you pointed a camera at it, it just had this massive white dot over the top.
So
of
we're
it.
not repeating that experience.
We're not
No.
So all good. Right.
Great.
I'll let you crack on. Just noticed my lav mic's dropped off. I wonder what the audio was like on that. Should be okay.
Quotes in the post. Bring your checkbook.
Thanks, mate.